What's up, ladies and gentlemen? DJ Mystery coming at you live through the power of the internet, and we're back with contestant number 10, if I remember correctly, DJ Dinosaur K, getting in on the Rock Raider Challenge using the track The Unassisted, of course brought to you by Mr. Broadleg Arm, Rob Swift. I've seen Dinosaur K in one of the other competitions that were there, also initiated, of course, by Rob Swift. As always, we're going to first look at his setup and then go through the comments of the judges, check out the points that he got, and yeah, let's get right into the video. On ice, he got a Native Instruments Tractor Control Z2. That's the same mixer that I have, and he's using Technics 1200s with blue tractor vinyls, which I find totally dope, and I really like the Technics 1200s because they got the silver finish, and I really wanted to have those all the time, like forever, because I only have the black ones, the 1210s, which by now I find a little boring, but I've covered them up with a skin by, I guess it's Style Flip. DJ Dinosaur is using regular needles, which I also find dope, and his camera angle is like perfect. Like, you can see the mixer, you can see what he's doing on the turntables, and like everything's perfect. Like, he has good lighting, so that like, you can see him. And what I found interesting are his gloves. We got to see that they look like medical gloves, so we got to check out what he's gonna do with those.
DJ Dinosaur K.
Let's make something happen.
Dinosaur K. Fills, all right.
Let's make something happen.
Okay, he was a little confused on like how far he has got to spin back the records. Okay, so he's got his fingers his thumb is very close to the crossfader. Doing a chase pattern. Oh, and he's using the gloves to get more grip on the fingernails, so he can use the back of his hands to stop the records as well. I'm not too sure whether that works on the 4x4 pattern, whether he really got that. Oh, sloppiness as he was rewinding the record. Oh, and his turntables are shaking, so his table is not 100% sturdy. Nice. Okay, he's using lots of pauses, so to make it a little more interesting, and he's using body tricks. Holy shizzle. So here we go. Let's check out what the judges had to say to the routine by DJ Dinosaur K, or Dinosaur K. Sorry for mispronouncing that. He came up with a total of 31.5 points. What did Rob Swift give him? 3.5 on the technicality, 4 points on the presentation, 3.5 points on the originality. Let's make something happen. That Jadakiss intro was super relevant. I didn't know it was Jadakiss. Him referencing the versus battle fits the challenge perfectly. I love it. Now I've seen a lot of DJ Dinosaur K over the course of the last year, so I was expecting to see his signature chase patterns, and sure enough, he breaks it out in his routine, in this routine. Yep, so that was interesting. Like that, having the fingers very close to the crossfader, that was a different way of holding your hands. Great shit, man. He had a really unorthodox approach to executing this root move. The way he moves his hands on the turntables and mixes makes watching the classic juggle patterns very interesting and fun. Yes, that totally stood out. In the past, DJ Dinosaur K would have settled for freaking that chase pattern of his for the entire round, but he transitions into different patterns, which I was very happy about. You can't just stick to one pattern. That's absolutely true. You got to give the audience something more to feast upon and to listen to, because like if you do the chase pattern, which is fine, which is fun, but doing that throughout the whole 90 seconds, you're going to lose the attention of the audience. However, the energy level he establishes in the first half of the round dips when he introduces the pattern after his signature chase. The pattern was unique but not dynamic enough. I think a better approach would have been structuring the routine so that the second pattern he did actually came first. Yeah, like sometimes you just have to have somebody to be your sparring partner or your counterpart. So as I did with DJ Wins, it's sometimes a good idea to record the stuff that you're doing or the patterns that you want to do, and then send it to somebody else, ask them for advice, ask them for feedback, and then maybe you can come up with something that is more interesting, that is just different. And in this case, just sometimes playing around with the structure or the order of the patterns that you're doing, that might get it more interesting. So I totally agree with Rob. This way the routine would have had an arc that steadily rose upward. Lastly, it was great to see him freak body tricks, as Raider was all about incorporating different body parts into his juggles. Yeah, he did, like Dinosaur K did different patterns, different body tricks. It wasn't necessarily like the flip over, cartwheel kind of thing, but it was good. And sometimes DJs refrain from using body tricks because it confuses them, because like having a hand behind your body and not being able to get your hands to the records that fast, it might just kick you off your patterns and you lost. But he did it greatly. He did like simple body tricks which worked absolutely, like lifting your leg and getting your hand below your knee and then still touching the records. That's a body trick and it works. However, the tricks would have had a stronger impact if he executed them with more speed. Yeah, sometimes doing a slow body trick is nice. I've seen DJs do body tricks in a very slow motion way, but that's when they turn down the speed of the record to slow motion, or to like usually the record is maybe on 45 and you turn it down to 33. Or if you have an ultra pitch like on the Vestax 2000s or 3000, you can like cue that up, or you can adjust that before you do the speed lock, and then you might like do it in slow motion. But sometimes it's nice. Sometimes it works if you do it faster, sometimes it works if you do it slower. But in this case, like sometimes like the impact, if you want to really have the impact of the body trick that you're incorporating anyways, sometimes you have to be a little faster. All right, Mike C, let's compare that. Technicality, Rob gave 3.5, Mike C 2.5. Rob gave presentation 4, but Mike C only gave 2.5 points. So there is a difference. But on the originality, Mike C gave 4 instead of 3.5 by Rob. Okay, let's check out what he had to say. Dinosaur K strikes me as someone who has a natural sense of rhythm. Those pause patterns and the strobe-like move had some funk to them. I totally agree. I totally like the pauses that you sometimes incorporate, because that again draws attention to what you're doing. Like if you have patterns running over and over again, sometimes a pause catches the attention of the audience, because like not hearing anything is also as interesting, as long as it's only like a short pause, but it gets your audience back to listening more intensely to what you're doing. Having said that, more reps are needed, so more repetitions. So you got to practice to get the pauses in the 4x4 pattern on point. Now, the goal going forward should be to incorporate his instinctive rhythm into routines that are cleanly planned out and execute. Sometimes you have to practice one part of the routine more than others. And especially if you're doing body tricks and it's not, you don't hit it 100% perfect, you have to practice that over and over and over again. And I like, that's true for my routine, because I should have practiced a couple of things more to really land it on point, especially like the rolling fills. I didn't practice that enough. It was more sloppy than perfect, I gotta say that. And if you don't hit a pattern close to like 90% perfect, you might as well just not do it, because even though you have a different pattern, if you don't hit it, if you don't get it perfect, that's going to cost you a lot of points. So sometimes, yes, you have to take risks, but sometimes you're going to get further by using patterns that you know and you can execute 100% perfect. All right, Mr. B, 3.5 on technicality, presentation 4, originality 4. So he even gave more points than Rob on the originality. I dig the style in the glove work. Yep, he was the only one to point that out. I found it intriguing with your hands on the records. It felt like your breakdown was a bit more quicker based on how you are tapping down on the record. That really confused me a little bit as well, and I would like to have a look at that as well one more time.
Let's make something happen.
Yeah, it feels like it's like the pace of the hand movements does not 100% fit the pace of the record. Yeah. Yeah, there was it felt like it was a little bit offbeat at some points, and if you want to execute that pattern in a battle or a challenge like this, you have to really break it down. Like, you have to be on point, you have to be in sync with the music, otherwise it's not going to work. It felt like a speeded up breakdown. I also appreciate the pauses which helped build the juggle. Yep, I agree. I hope you can go back and clean up this close to hand style. Oh yeah, the one with the thumbs close to the crossfader. I like that. It sounds cool, but I think with practice you can craft it better and it will show over time. Yes, it will, definitely. Like, at one point your hands are sort of dancing with the rhythm or moving with the rhythm. And that just comes with practice. And then at one point you recognize, oh, right, here we go. It's 100% perfect the way I had planned it out. I feel beyond this juggle, you can apply this style to other beats. Yeah, absolutely. But in this case, it was just the beat that we were using. Consider trying songs with head notes that stand out. Total score of 11.5. All right. Yeah, so it's a different approach. It's, again, a different pattern that Dinosaur K is using. He was using, like, as was it DJ Backbeat or DJ Tyson? I think he was using different parts of the record, different from the ones that I was using. So I give him props for that. Coming out on a total score of 31.5. I think that's nice. Good job, man. If you like my videos, if you like my reaction videos to the Unassisted challenge, give me a thumbs up. And maybe you want to consider subscribing to my channel. I would totally appreciate that. There are more videos to come. I'm going to cover all the contestants in this Unassisted challenge to Honor Rock Raider, of course, brought to you by Mr. Broadegarm, Rob Swift. My name's DJ Mystery from Frankfurt, Germany. Stay healthy and keep on juggling. Peace, y'all.